The high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-884-1012 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-884-1012. That's 800-884-1012. What do you have to lose? Call 800-884-1012. Again, 800-884-1012.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com, to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
Now that spring is here, it's time for some spring home maintenance.
That's cold!
Hot water issues? Call Center Guard Plumbing. Right now, get a new 40-gallon atmospheric vent water heater installed for just $1,295 standard installation, or a 50-gallon for $1,395 standard installation, with free haul away of your old tank. A proud sponsor of AM 560, you'll save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on tankless and atmospheric vent water heaters with Center Guard Plumbing. Plus, get 10% off any licensed plumbing contractor competitor's price. Center Guard Plumbing is Chicagoland's same-day water heater experts. Call before noon, and they can schedule your repair or install the same day on in-stock water heaters. You're only a text away from install today. Call 847-406-8883. Mention AM 560 to receive spring special pricing. That's 847-406-8883. Call or text 847-406-8883 or visit centerguardplumbing.com.
I'm alpine skier Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races in history. But what does success mean to me? Success means discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us, and it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management firms in the country. If you're looking for success, surround yourself with the people who will get you there. If you're an advisor or investor, choose Stifel, where success meets success.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC and NYSE.
Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer. It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson.
Well, that didn't go well. No. Good morning. Welcome back. The Tuesday after the 3-day Memorial Day weekend. And we have some different totals, Jeannie. According to HeyJackass.com, which I trust them more, they say 38 shot, 1 dead. According to Chicago police, 24 shot, 1 dead. And the mainstream media, and I know you and I both know this.
Oh, yeah.
Calling this one of the safest Memorial Day weekends in 16 years. 312-642-5600. You can call us or you can text us on that line. But It's unbelievable. And we should start, and we'll break down what happened. We'll set the table, so to speak. But it started Friday night. There was drag racing circles going on under Lower Wacker. People sitting in the middle of a fire circle, I call it. And they're racing around the fire circle, waving weapons, AK-47, like assault weapons, anything you can imagine, bragging about it. No police in sight. And then the next night, there was a prom party that was outside. 500 people showed up. It was right near St. Ignatius, not St. Ignatius Kids, but it was near that area, Loomis and Roosevelt. Crowd got out of hand, 180 people, and one 18-year-old decided to ram his car into 5 Chicago police officers. They're going to be fine. We're going to have the FLP president, John Catanzara, on tomorrow to discuss this in more detail, but they're going to be fine. But you know what he told me? That he could have shot, those officers could have shot and killed that 18-year-old who was using his vehicle as a weapon. 14 takeovers in total. Mayor Johnson calling it not a teen takeover. We have a new verbiage. Are you ready? Unauthorized gatherings.
These unauthorized gatherings, as we have indicated multiple times, that they can be dangerous. And in this case, we saw the manifestation of that danger.
It was mob action. And then 1,000 kids last night were at 57th and Lakeshore Drive, 1,000. And they were jumping on cars, stopping traffic, not listening to police. And police were pretty much there babysitting. If you see the footage, somebody shot from their high rise, you could see it. They're not arresting anybody because they were outnumbered. And then at the same time on North Avenue Beach, there were fights broke out near Latin High School. Not Latin High School kids, but at Clark and North Avenue.
Well, obviously, this was the big news of the day, of the weekend, and everybody was reporting on it. Paris Schultz did a really good discussion with Alderman Hopkins on what should be done. Here is part of that clip.
Police officials say an 18-year-old plowed his vehicle into a group of police officers who were trying to break up an early Sunday morning teen takeover. It was near Roosevelt and Loomis on the west side. CPD says 5 officers were taken to the hospital and are currently in fair condition, but Alderman Brian Hopkins says some are suffering from broken bones.
The car was going at least 20, possibly close to 30 miles an hour when it hit those officers who had no warning at all.
Hopkins says the gathering was full of underage kids. And he says it's past time to hold parents accountable, using a law that classifies the crime of contributing to the delinquency of a minor as a Class A misdemeanor.
So the laws are already on the books. They need to be enforced, and we need to have that conversation with the parents of Chicago and let them know this is completely unacceptable.
He says he and city council colleagues are drafting an ordinance that would apply this law to parents of teens who are caught up past curfew in one of these illegal gatherings.
The whole intent here is to provide a disincentive for parents to allow this kind of thing to happen. It isn't to let it happen so we can throw parents in jail. What we want is parents to cooperate and to heed the call to manage their children properly and to keep your young teenagers at home on a Saturday night when it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, 312-642-5600. What do you think are the solutions, and what do you think should happen to parents when their teenagers are involved in literally mob action? That's a question I want to put to our audience, because this is not good. And to do this on a Memorial Day too, I couldn't help but think and contrast the teenagers, the 18-year-old plowing into police with the 18-year-olds at this time. And over the years, of course, of many wars in America, literally were fighting for their country. They're doing this on Memorial Day. They have no idea what Memorial Day is about. They have no idea why they have a 3-day weekend. They're uneducated animals. These people are animals.
They have no respect for authority. No respect for Chicago police, egging them on, twerking on the top of their cop cars. I mean, if that was my daughter, I'd go run down there and grab her by the ear and yank her out. And I did see that one time during George Floyd, the first night of rioting, a mother came down and grabbed her son by the ear and she's like, "You get out of here." And it was the best thing. I thought, now that is how we should parent. But I've got a really good suggestion for Mayor Johnson, who, by the way, is the commencement speaker at his son's graduation from Kenwood Academy today, which he's not taking any questions, Jeannie, just so you know. Just so you know. Why don't Chicago police send a message to the youngins out there that what they're doing is illegal? You can't stop traffic on Lakeshore Drive. all those poor people coming back from New Buffalo, Michigan, from their summer homes. Oh, what to do. But you can't do that and start arresting them. Other teens will see that video and maybe think, you know what? Now they mean business. Now we can't do this cat and mouse game. Now they're getting serious. But he will not do that. He's putting the onus on parents, and I understand that. And I understand we have a curfew. But come on, they're not even the one kid that was arrested near North Avenue and
bring out the
Clark.
paddy wagons.
Yeah,
plural.
He had a gun. I mean,
Lock
so they're not
them up.
They're not listening. They don't. He doesn't have his FOID card, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
no one's
you don't
playing.
Think?
No,
Do you think he went and got registered?
But
to
it
own
was
a weapon.
So crazy. All Chicago police officers, no day offs. Everybody had to come back to work, and I'm into these 911 dispatch tapes. And this is this. We did not slice this together, okay, folks? This is in real time. She's about to end her shift. She's exhausted, and this is what was going on within less than a minute.
All right, we're about to head up out of here. For the units that want a music disturbance at Washington, Michigan, EMS request at 111 North Lakeshore Drive. EMS request at 800 South Wells. A battery victim injured with an hour and 3 minutes on it at Roosevelt and Clark. A disturbance at 611 South Wells and a disturbance at 1224 South Wabash at the Jewel. That's pending in one and then backlog at 2154. Pending in 18, I got a sex offense that just hit the board at 635 West Belden Avenue. It's for a couple having sexual intercourse in the alley. A check the well-being at Fullerton and Lakeshore Drive. A music disturbance at 1107 North Crosby. A EMS request at 1301 North State Parkway. Unit 1117. Auto accident at Chicago and LaSalle. Auto theft just occurred at Michigan and Watson Place, and a battery report needed at 251 East Huron. That's all pending in 18. Also in the backlog at 2154.
162, we're right, 462.
All right, 62 David, that's a 10-4. It's 2154 on the clock for you.
14, can you go check the well-being? We're here, Fullerton.
Who's taking that check the well-being at Fullerton and Lakeshore?
1814.
You know,
Thank you, 13.
I don't think that music disturbance call is going to get any police attention. But I mean, that's what they go. That was in Jeannie in 1 minute and 4 seconds, and she was just like, "We got to do this, we got that." Anybody that can go, please respond.
Well, if you thought Hyde Park was safe, it's not. Gunman shoots 3 at a large gathering in Hyde Park.
Yeah, that was 2 blocks away from the teen takeover. Less than a half hour later.
I mean,
and
it's constant.
They're still looking for him. 312-642-5600. Let's go to Roger on the south side. Good morning, Roger. How are you?
Ladies, hello. Jeannie, or both of you might know this. It never gets mentioned, no. Okay, so these numbers that we get every weekend, whatever it was, 30 for this weekend. Okay.
38.
38 wounded, 1 killed.
Okay, let's start talking about reality here because it's not getting publicized by actual real law enforcement. Those numbers are based on 48 hours. Okay, the actual amount, and you can check this after the show. Okay, the actual amount of people shot 7 days going backwards from Monday in the city limits only, because I just looked at it. Okay, was 67 people, 4 fatalities. Okay, these numbers, okay, and you could figure out on your own whether, I'll just give you an easy place to check them. You could check them at the state police. You could check them at the Cook County Sheriff's. Mm-hmm. Okay, they have these numbers. Okay, and this went on all through the pandemic. When we were showing those big weekends we had 4 years ago of 60, 70 people shot on a weekend, the numbers were actually averaging just above 100 for the week. Okay.
Well, Roger, I'm going to interrupt you. These numbers, it started at 5 p.m. Friday and it ended at 5 a.m. this morning.
I realize that, but what I'm telling you, though, is that the 7-day total going backwards from Monday is 67 for this week. Okay, you could Freedom of Information or FOIA and find out, because you average 50 to 60 a week just in the city of Chicago. That's not even counting the outlying suburbs, okay?
Yep.
So, we've got a complete animal farm here. And once again, here, Freckwinkle making no statements because that's the woman who has decriminalized the entire criminal code here. Okay,
yeah.
And she did it through the Democratic Party, as Jeannie will tell you. Okay, and the unfortunate thing, the Republicans, they might have 10% blame because you know what, they went along with it and cut deals for this crap. So
thanks, Roger.
Nobody should be surprised by this.
No, Roger,
but
the problem I have is we're numb to it. These numbers are almost meaningless because we hear them all the time, and we don't even think anything of it. It's somebody else's problem. It didn't happen to me. My kid's okay. What are you bitching about? And that is the problem. But you know what? We're all subjected to the cost of this because it is one race bait after another from these people. Because I'm sorry, but you look at those videos. Who is the predominant race involved? I'm not going to mince words anymore. Because you got idiots like Chris Welch, the Speaker of the House, making everything about race all the time. You want to make this about race? Where were you, Chris Welch? Why weren't you in the middle of it all on the west side, freaking handling it, dude?
No, they don't.
Nowhere.
Listen, they don't
Nowhere
care.
to see because they don't care. They don't care. They don't care, and I'm sick of it. Having none of it, Roger. I'm
We're
done.
all sick of it, and the only way that people can deal with it is they're leaving. We're leaving.
Yeah, they are. They're leaving in droves. And we'll have more information on that.
Yeah,
hey,
thanks,
Roger, we got to move on. I thank you for the call, though. I really appreciate your information. That's awesome. Okay, let's go to Michael quick. Michael on the South Side, welcome to the program.
Amy, Jeannie, thank you both for taking my call. When it comes to teenagers, Mayor Johnson is talking out both sides of his mouth. On the one hand, he says they're not fully accountable for takeovers, but on the other hand, he apparently believes they're adult enough to skip class for a protest on May Day.
Good point.
And I wish to God that these reporters would challenge him on his statements because I feel like they're letting him say whatever he wants. So thank you.
Well, and then also too, he decides when he's going to speak to the media, and then he'll say on topic only. What? But nobody wants to talk about certain things. They want to talk about the real issues in Chicago. What to do? You say you want parents to be held accountable. How are you going to hold them accountable? What does that even look like?
Right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Coming up on The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson. 6 days left to the Springfield regular session. That's at 11:35. But up next, another race hoax possibly? This time up north in Wisconsin. We'll explain.
Subscribe to The Real Story podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or at 560theanswer.com.
Town Hall News, where conservative voices cut through the noise from breaking headlines to fearless opinion. We report what matters without apology. Written by people who actually believe what you believe. Town Hall tells the stories the corporate press buries, from President Trump to Capitol Hill. From pivotal elections to your everyday lives. Join the movement at townhall.com. Real stories, real reporters, real conservative media.
Let me ask you something. Does your garage floor look bad? Covered in salt, cracked, or stained from the winter's brutal blast? Well, I've got a fix for you so you can start enjoying your garage this spring. Contact my good friends at Level 10 Coatings. Level 10 brought my garage floor from dirty and gross to showroom, shiny new in just one day. Level 10 Coatings can do the same for you. A quick and easy fix, permanent durable solution. Guaranteed to never chip or peel. Get it done now so you can enjoy your garage this spring and summer. Schedule your free quote today and mention me, Amy, for $500 off. Visit level10coatings.com. That's level, the number 10, coatings.com. Level10coatings.com or call 855-510-2628. Again, that's 855-510-2628. Level 10 Coatings, your premier concrete coating experts.
I'd like to tell you about a man named Phineas who as a child survived the Holocaust. Phineas survived because Christians hid him from the Nazis, risking everything to save his life. Today, Phineas is in his 80s. He can no longer stand on his own or even leave his home to receive medical care. And when sirens sound and missiles fall, he doesn't have the time or the strength to reach safety. But once again, Christians are helping to save his life. Through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, a mobile clinic brings doctors and medicine right to Phineas's doorstep, providing care that he otherwise would not receive, especially during a time of war. Phineas said, "Christians saved my life during the Holocaust, And now again, they are helping me. As Israel's Holocaust Remembrance Day approaches, remember these precious children of God by lifting them up in prayer, asking for his protection, his comfort, and his peace. Stand with Israel in prayer by visiting supportifcj.org. That's supportifcj.org.
A revolution in chip technology could make today's artificial intelligence obsolete. 3 companies are quietly building a $1 trillion triangle to develop and manufacture supercomputers the size of a dinner plate. Investment guru George Gilder has his finger on the 3 companies whose technology could change tech forever. Log on to $1trilliondollartriangle.com to find out which 3 companies are working on what could be the biggest tech disruption since the internet. $1trilliondollartriangle.com. That's $1trilliondollartriangle.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Super cool. All right, let's go to Dave and Niles. Good morning. You're on The Real Story. Hey, David.
Paper tiger. I've been a lawyer a long time. I'm in the criminal courts, civil courts. Paper tiger. You get these people that they have the police flash their lights on their cars. They have them growl. They have them go ahead and arrest them. And what happens? The prosecutors and the judges, they let them out. They know they're getting out. You got cashless bail. So here's the word. It's contempt. They have total contempt for the judicial system. It's the big flip them off. And the only way to get it done is to go back to what we were doing 20 years ago. Get rid of cashless bail. Judges do their job. We're paying them plenty of money to do it. Prosecutors do their job, and everything works out. These are also people in positions of authority in our judicial system and our law enforcement and cities. They're terrible at what they do in life, and they're also terrible at parenting.
Dave, thanks a lot for the comment. Couldn't agree more. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how we do the whole parenting things, make parents be parents, other than, incarcerating them, make them pay for their kids' crimes at this point. You're right. Contributing to the delinquency of a minor, that is an actual law. On the books, and we need to enforce it at this point all the time. I'll tell you what, Amy.
Well, where were the violence intervention group? What were those? What are they called?
Well, what about parent mentoring? We spend tens of millions of dollars, $100 million on that, $100 million on violence prevention, after-school programs, midnight basketball, you name it. It's totally ineffective.
I meant to say violence interrupters.
Violence interrupters,
that's
yes.
Where were they?
I don't know.
I don't think there's enough violence interrupters.
Well, I got to tell you.
These people need to get jobs because Memorial Day is the unofficial start of the summer. And if this is our summer, this is not a summer of joy. This is a summer of hell. Hell, I tell you, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. You want people to come here for conventions? I don't think so. They're going to pick someplace else. Well, you know what it is. It's all race all the time down in Springfield, everywhere you go. And here we go. We have another race hoax. Listen to what happened up at a college in Wisconsin.
Students and staff over at Viterbo University are showing support for a fellow student who was a target of racist, hate-filled messages. They were written on the black student's dorm room door earlier this week. News 8 Now's Tyler Jobe is live on campus tonight with what we know right now. Tyler?
Mike, happening right now is a prayer vigil for some of the incidents that have occurred here at Viterbo University. The most recent was a student finding racist messages written on Sharpie on her dorm room door. They include, "Get out of our school," and "You're a bad person because you're black." Earlier today, students and staff showed up in large numbers to not only show some support for the student who was targeted by these racist messages, but also for support for the minorities in the community.
I'm the student this happened to.
The freshman at Viterbo, who we're not naming, says she first laughed at the hateful comments written on her dorm room door.
I thought it was a joke, but then it happened again.
Eventually realizing she was the target of racism.
It's really scary to wake up in the morning, open your door, and there's a writing of hate on your door.
And now the university and beyond is reaching out in arms.
We are here today. Enough of that. You get the setup, right?
Well, they had a prayer vigil.
Totally.
I mean, and clearly they interviewed her. She was very victimized. I mean,
they suspended classes for a couple hours. They had rallies for her. They did all this, but actually,
you're laughing.
What happened?
You're laughing for a reason.
Yeah, here's the second part of that whole story.
The girl who was placed under arrest for arson and negligent handling of burning materials in a Viterbo residence hall in late April is now being charged. Kate Overton is live in the studio with more.
Yes, Martha, 17-year-old Victoria Unanka was the student at Viterbo University who was arrested for the fire. She was released on a signature bond, but is not allowed to have contact with Viterbo campus. Now she's facing criminal charges and is expelled from the university.
17-year-old Milwaukee resident Victoria Unanka was in court on Wednesday for her initial appearance to face the charges against her. The criminal complaint says she handled burning materials in a highly negligent manner, a Class A misdemeanor that, if convicted, may land Unanka no more than a $10,000 fine, prison time up to 9 months, or both. During the court appearance, Unanka stayed silent, and the court entered a not guilty plea on her behalf.
She was the same person who, it was all a hoax. She set it all up, and then she tried to burn down a room. A building.
Her building?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but what the stuff that was written on her dorm room door, get out of here, we don't want you here because you're black, that was all a hoax?
That was all a hoax. All of it was a hoax. And then on top of it, she gets charged with arson.
Attempted arson.
Attempted.
Yeah.
Okay, allegedly.
And she's 17, but she's charged as an adult. That's why we're releasing her name.
Yeah.
So
another race hoax.
What's going to happen?
You just can't make
to
it
her?
up, right? This is what they do all the time. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's quickly take a few more phone. Let's go to Midge in Schaumburg. You're on The Real Story. Good morning, Midge. How are you?
I'm doing good. I enjoy listening to you ladies. You bring home the local news.
Thank you.
And I was reminded that when I was a kid, the radios of TV stations used to flash on, it's 10 o'clock, it's curfew. Do you know where your children are?
Yep, I remember that well.
I think it's time to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could be effective, but I remember that vividly. It's 10 o'cloand
Well, whether it's effective or not to the adults, it should be a message to the kids that there is a law. And it also pertains to whether or not their driver's licenses, whether their insurance is effective after a certain time, too.
Yeah.
I think that does negate whether or not you actually are insured if you're driving past time you're supposed to be driving.
Well, that's a good point because they are like during those drag racing events. I mean, they write down their plate numbers and they're supposed to, Chicago police, impound their car.
All right, Mitch, thanks for the call. I did want to mention this. Eli Steele writing about Bob Woodson's parting words. Over the past decade, American history has been weaponized to convince its people that we are irredeemably defined by our worst chapters, especially the moral darkness of slavery. Black children are increasingly taught to believe they live in a country that fundamentally thinks less of them. That's what's causing some of this. They think they're oppressed, so they go out and just do whatever the hell they want.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
I'm Gianna Gelosi. A couple rulings out of the Supreme Court today. In one, the justices are not allowing Florida to sue to stop California and Washington from issuing commercial driver's licenses to truck drivers in the U.S. illegally.
Florida's complaint was originally filed after an illegal migrant from India who could neither speak nor read English, but who was driving a big rig caused a deadly crash in Florida.
It's Fox's Eben Brown. In another case,
the Trump administration in 2020 banned immigration judges from publicly speaking or publishing anything about immigration law or the agencies employing them without prior Justice Department permission. The policy continued under the Biden administration and still stands with the Supreme Court ruling, at least for now. It doesn't address the legality of the policy. It sends the case back to an appeals court that last year questioned its legality and ordered more fact-finding.
Fox's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon will be very warm with a mix of clouds and sun, reaching a high of 86.
Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 63. Tomorrow will continue to be very warm with a blend of clouds and sunshine with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
John was an active man. He'd go for runs, walk the golf course, and always take the stairs instead of the elevator. But then bone-on-bone knee pain got in the way and affected his mobility. It became too painful to even go for walks. And when it seemed like John's only option was knee replacement surgery, a friend told him about the Joint Relief Institute and their affordable, non-surgical knee pain relief. John met with the Joint Relief Institute and discovered their lubricating gel treatment could rejuvenate his lost cartilage. Safe, effective, no surgery. Long story short, John is now back to being active without pain or medication.
There is an alternative to knee replacement surgery. Stop living in pain. Call the Joint Relief Institute today, 708-315-6800, or visit jointreliefinstitute.com. Locations in Glenview, Oak Brook, and Orland Park. That's 708-315-6800. Medicare and most private insurance plans accepted. Reclaim your mobility with the Joint Relief Institute.
All right, I love it. Virago, I take it every day, and some people ask, does it really work? And yes, because I don't push products I don't believe in. So listen up. Virago, it's a liquid immune support. It does a lot more than help your immune system. I spoke with Dr. Huber, the creator of Virago, and let me tell you, this man knows immune health like nobody's business. He explained the stronger your immune system, the stronger your body fights back against viruses, disease, inflammation, all of it. I know all too well about inflammation. I've had a bum shoulder, and since I've been taking Virago, I am telling you, I am feeling better because the inflammation is gone, so no more pain. He created Virago as a liquid immune boosting supplement packed with 23 power nutraceuticals that work together in synergy. It's antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and even protects your heart, kidneys, and liver. And because it's a liquid, your body absorbs it quickly. I mix my Virago in my orange juice, and I feel the difference, and you will too. So order your bottle of Virago today at myvirago.com. That's myvirago.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. myvirago.com, coupon code IMMUNE.
Your kitchen's outdated. Your bathroom feels cramped. Every day you wait, prices go up. And you keep living in a space that doesn't work. At Forever Remodeling, one team handles everything. Design, planning, and installation, start to finish. We show you your new space in 3D before we ever break ground. No surprises. With flexible financing options, the home you want is closer than you think. Visit foreverremodeling.com. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com to schedule your personalized in-home design consultation.
As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
Salem Surround. Is your business hard to find online? Meet with a digital marketer today for ideas that will make your business stand out. Visit salemsurround.com. This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
AM 560, The Answer.
Got a great text message into the real story. Jeanne and Amy, in regards to Teen Takeover, the news folks have to stop giving the events like this a cutesy name, like Teen Takeover. It's more like Teen Terror. Tell it like it is. And that text message came from Valparaiso.
Just get out the paddy wagons, multiple paddy wagons, arrest all of them. Arrest them. You're in the street. You're in the street.
You're blocking Lake Shore Drive. You're jumping on cars.
Arrested.
Jumping on cars.
You're in the street. You're arrested. What happened to jaywalking laws? I mean, you're in the street. Sorry, you're arrested unless it's like an absolutely organized sort of block party thingy, whatever. Even then, no block parties. Sorry, you're done. You lost the
my block party. I love our block party.
Okay, whatever. You can do it up.
But
in
no,
Lakeview.
you're right. But it's true. These It's so infuriating, and I know a lot of people that were stuck in traffic for hours because then they had to shut it down. But again, 1,000 kids. And you know who let them know about it? Was University of Chicago Police Department. They had heard chatter that there was going to be a big teen takeover, and not from the kids that go to University of Chicago, but in their jurisdiction, part of their jurisdiction. So they're the ones who alerted Chicago police, but it still wasn't enough time.
Well, okay, moving on. We've got 6 days until they're supposed to have a budget, figure out what to do with the build program, and how about those bears? So the Triple Bs are weighing on everybody's mind, and here to talk about that to us some more is State Representative Chris Miller. He's the state representative for the 101st State Representative District, and he's the chairman of the Illinois Freedom Caucus, which is the conservative caucus leading the way for the last 5 years. Chris, thanks so much for coming on the program.
Well, thank you very much, ladies, for having me on. It's an exciting day here in Springfield. We're on lockdown because there's supposedly a bomb threat here.
Really? Oh. Okay,
Yeah,
so what
that's
time?
breaking news.
Well, thank you for sharing it. Tell us some of the details. What time did that happen?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of interesting because there was several police cars and this and that, and a guy in a bomb uniform, which I didn't see him. But, of course, I walk into the place and nobody says a word, and I get up to the second floor of the Stratton, and somebody said, "Oh, we're on lockdown." I'm going, "Why are we on lockdown?" And they said, "Well, there's a bomb threat." And it's actually between the Stratton and the Capitol building, is my understanding. But I'm not sure why somebody wasn't meeting me in the parking lot and tell me not to go in there. But
so possibly in the tunnel? Possibly in the tunnel, or they shut down the tunnel?
No, there was a vehicle, a suspect vehicle out in the parking lot that they had all the doors open, etc. And they must have been taking it serious because they had a guy in the bomb uniform, that's all padded up and this and that, walking over to the vehicle that was a suspicious one. So, but I haven't really heard anything else other than that. So.
Well, it's Wednesday, so which one of the, let's see, are the Purple People Eaters down there, or is it, SEIU or CTU? Who's down there asking for more money, with just 6 days to go?
The ones that, all of the suspects that you mentioned, they're all here, and then the Uber drivers are trying to unionize, and so I'm not exactly sure how they think that that's going to happen, but anyway, anything's possible here in the state of Illinois.
Well, JB says BJ's not showing up down there. So has Brandon Johnson been around lately?
Now, he was down here a few weeks ago, but I haven't seen him since. So,
okay.
Yeah, he's preparing.
I didn't see him when he was there, but, we're in the short rows of this legislative session, and we've yet to talk about, just like over the weekend, I think there was 39 shot in Chicago. We aren't talking about safer communities or cheaper energy or smaller government. Those are things that are glaring that we're not even given any time to at all.
Yeah, and Brandon Johnson's preparing for his trip to Rome to meet Pope Leo.
Yeah,
but Jeannie, you talked about the budget, the Bears, and the Build Act. Which BBB do you want to start with first?
Well, actually, I want to start with this before we even get to there, because you talk about nothing getting done. In the Immigration and Human Rights Committee this afternoon is this bill, SB 3777. It's already passed the Senate. It's in the House for consideration, and it's referred to as the Civil Rights Safeguard Act. It literally says provisions in this bill are to be construed liberally. That's right. For the accomplishment of the uniquely broad and remedial purposes thereof, regardless of whether federal or civil human rights laws, including those laws with provisions worded comparably to provisions of this act, have been so construed. And the whole purpose behind this, a liberal interpretation of them, is to protect immigrants. Okay, that's what it's all about. And it takes different statutes, and it says, oh my gosh, you cannot even believe this. It talks about, here we go. It's a civil rights violation for any employer, employment agency, or labor organization to use criteria or methods in this act set forth that has the effect of subjecting individuals to discriminations on the basis of citizenship status, family responsibilities, work authorization status, arrest record, or conviction record. So this is you're supposed to liberally construe that you cannot discriminate on any of those factors. And it changes the statute for employment, for lending organizations, for giving out credit cards, for rent. So this is what they're doing instead. They are doubling down on stupid, saying you can't discriminate on the basis of citizenship status, work authorization. I mean, come on.
Well, it's like I told them last week, life's hard and it gets harder when you're stupid. I mean, the whole idea that it's not discrimination when you enforce the laws of our country. If we don't have borders, we don't have a country. And this idea, and the only reason why the Democrats want illegals here is because they know that Americans won't vote for their radical ideology and the things that they're promoting, and so they have to bring in illegals that have no affiliation with our country, no recognition of history, no recognition of patriotism, and all they know is that these guys are handing them cash and making life better for them. At the same time, life is getting worse for the Illinois citizens as their radical agenda gets imposed upon all of us.
Well, talk about handing out cash. There's also this that's under consideration. Chicago Tribune reporting. Illinois lawmakers consider grants or loans for Chicago businesses devastated by Operation Midway Blitz. Businesses across many largely immigrant Chicago neighborhoods are still reeling from the fallout of the raids. The impact of lost customers and cratered revenues has prompted Illinois lawmakers to debate whether and how to help businesses like this other guy's. All right. 2 proposals. One would create a $50 million grant program run by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. That's where all the money is handed out to the NGOs for bogus reasons. Right. Another, which passed out of the House last month, would establish a loan program for small businesses whenever the governor declares an economic shock, defined as instances of reduced foot traffic, declining sales. I mean, you can't make this up. So now they're going to hand reparations or money to these people that were impacted by the enforcement of federal laws, immigration laws. I mean, this is insane.
That was actually in my Economic Opportunity Committee, which I was having trouble keeping a straight face because it further it solidified the fact that these guys don't understand economics or opportunity, because all that was a money laundering scheme brought to you once again by the Democrats that have no understanding of economics.
Wow. All right, let's talk about, can we move on to the Bears? What's the latest on the Bears? Governor Braun from Indiana said we're ready to go. Yesterday was kind of poking the bear, so to speak, by saying we're ready to go. We can start building as soon as they say yes, we'd like to come to Hammond, Indiana.
Well, to be honest about the Bears deal, it's been kind of weirdly silent. I mean, nobody's talking about it, at least in the circles that I ran in. I haven't heard one word about anything.
So that means that they're making they're having discussions behind closed doors by the Democrat leaders, and they're trying to figure out they're totally trying to figure out how to make this work and then shove it down everybody's throat at the end of the day and just cobble together enough Chicago legislators to get it across the finish line. So they're going to be passing out goodies to somebody because the CTU is opposed to this. They got to make them happy.
I would stay tuned on May the 30th, about 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, right.
So there's going to be no movement until then?
Well, I don't know, but that's when they do the really bad stuff. Okay. Is the last day or so of session in the middle of the night when nobody's paying attention.
Amy pulled this clip from Mayor Scott Worley of Naperville. He was talking about the BUILD Act. Here's part of what he said.
Hi, friends. I'm reaching out as your mayor to let you know officials in Springfield are considering changing the character of every neighborhood in Naperville. They're considering a bill called the Build Act. It mandates density, not affordability. And here's what it does. It forces our city to allow 6 and 8 unit buildings on lots zoned for single-family homes by right, from Crest Creek to Walnut Ridge, from East Highlands to Hobson West, from White Eagle to Ashbury, from South Point to Saybrook. The average Naperville residential lot is about a 1/4 acre. And if this bill passes, the next time a home sells on your street, a developer can tear it down and replace it with 8 market rate units by right. There will be no hearing, no city council, no vote, no say. Last fall, Springfield already eliminated parking minimums near our train stations. That covers much of the downtown and the Route 59 corridor. Adding density without parking will clog our neighborhoods. The bill includes some infrastructure money, but not nearly enough to cover the true impact on roads, classrooms, and utility upgrades this density will demand. This burden will fall on Naperville taxpayers. Naperville earned its character through decades of careful planning and real community spirit. We can't let Springfield set that aside. I was elected to represent Naperville.
Okay, so Chris, what's the status of the build program?
Well, I'm not exactly sure on all that, but that's pretty alarming what he just got done pointing out to them, because part of the Democrats, the radical Democrats, don't like private land ownership. They want to replace single family dwellings with these multiple handouts or whatever, so to say. I'm not exactly sure about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, but what we know is that the bill's weaving its way through, and I got to tell you, there's a lot of mayors. The IML, Illinois Municipal League, is opposed to it. There's a lot of mayors around the state that are opposed to it. It's a question of whether or not you're going to have legislators actually listen to the people that are closest to the people, which are their mayors and managers. And I doubt that they will. Chris?
No, I agree. Sorry, somebody poked their head in the room and was asking me a question, so I was highly distracted there momentarily.
Well, I thought you might have gotten the all clear for the bomb threat. Let us know if that happens during our conversation, okay?
I'm not sure, but I think that's what she said.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really been extremely concerned about it, but anyway. No, but I mean, it's just more government intrusion and taking away local control, and that's a problem.
Yep. Okay. Finally, what are we looking at for a budget here? I mean, obviously, Mark Lennon's out with a big article about the total of roughly $162 billion has been provided to JB over the course of his 8 years. Separate tax and fee increases raised $77 billion total since Pritzker took office. Apparently, Illinois policy has said. So you've got a lot of money that's come in, and it sounds like he's going to ask for even more.
Well, that is true, and I know that the rumors around the Capitol complex is JB is fishing the Democrats to see what tax and fee increases that he can propose that they will actually vote for. But I think that what you just brought up was the article, and it talked about there's been 57 new taxes that's already been implemented, taking $77 billion out of taxpayers' pocketbooks and providing money for his slush funds and his irresponsible spending. And at some point in time, it's got to quit. And hopefully by some miracle, he can be done here shortly in November.
Well, we hope so. Look, already we did a brief analysis of the bill that was filed, the FY 27 governor's introduced budget, which I think is in HB 131. We did a brief analysis of that. And look, they're going to spend over $4.4 billion just on daycare. That's what's in the budget. I don't understand why we're doing that. When you looked at just nonprofit spending, it's over $679 million spent just on that. Just various park districts are getting $178 million. Museums, $50 million. The Puerto Ricans make out big time, by the way.
They
yeah,
do.
the Puerto Rican Culture Center, they're due to get about $8 million. Why? I don't understand.
To do what?
It's just the whole thing that they can tax their way into prosperity is unbelievable to me, because all they're doing is creating an environment where people are continuing to flee our state, and because of these intrusive and progressive taxes, and that seems like that's all they know to do is to tax more, bar more, regulate more, and the people are voting with their feet. They figured it out that they don't have to live here, and they aren't.
Yep. Well, this is about the 6 most dangerous days in the state legislature, because it only takes 60 votes to pass anything. So anybody who's vulnerable in a vulnerable seat, the Democrats have plenty of people to just wave off a vote. They're going to have their 60 votes on anything they wanted. So everybody needs to be careful here. Chris, I'm hoping that you can call us when there is additional breaking news. When you hear something going on, we'd love to get you on. It doesn't matter what day of the week it is, until this is all done on Sunday, which is the final day of session. We'll be in touch with the state legislators down there.
That sounds great. We will do our best to keep you up to speed.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
All right. Coming up on The Real Story, the Gormans finally align themselves with President Trump. We'll explain.
This is the show that the Chicago Press Corps and the Democrats in Springfield don't want you to hear. It's The Real Story on AM 560. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
The mainstream media isn't just biased. They're hiding stories from you, deliberately. Restoration News is changing that. With elite researchers and fearless writers, Restoration News is the conservative media force fighting back in the information war for America's future. Download the Restoration News mobile app today or visit restoration-news.com. That's restoration-news.com. Real stories, real truth. It's time you knew what they don't want you to know.
Twitchy.com brings you the latest in social news, highlighting and reacting to important conversations from America's most prominent journalists, politicians, and celebrities. Twitchy's kinetic group of editors deliver fast and amusing content around the clock to tell you who said what in global and political news, sports, entertainment, and media. If it's news, they're on it. If it should be news, they're ahead of it. Stay connected to the newswire of the 21st century with Twitchy.com. Twitchy.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Text messages pouring in today. Jeannie, you got a good one?
No, forget arresting the parents. Take away their welfare and SNAP benefits. Absolutely. Because they get it per child. Your child caught doing that stuff and you happen to be getting any welfare or whatever, gone. It's gone.
Message from 312. Why can't the police do mass arrests at these gatherings? Bring in the wagons, as Jeannie suggested, or bring in buses. Because remember, you can't say paddy wagon anymore.
I heard that.
I know
don't
you've
care.
been
That's
saying
why
that.
I did it. That's why I did it. I'm tired of this speech police.
Text message from 847. Jeannie and Amy, remember when Trump threatened to bring the National Guard into Chicago? All the Democrats and religious leaders got together and had a conference in front of a podium to denounce it. Where is that same conference addressing all the violence in Chicago and all of its critics?
Why aren't they out there on the streets? Stopping it all.
I'd love that. One time there was going to be a teenage takeover in Hyde Park at a coffee shop, and all the Kenwood parents showed up. That was something. I mean, that was a pleasant surprise. 312-642-5600 is how you can reach us. Let's go to line 2. Good morning. How are you, sir or lady? Because it says anonymous.
Hello? Anonymous.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Just a few points of interest that the police department's pension was supposed to be funded years back, 95% by federal law, and Rahm Emanuel went down there, downstate, had everything froze up. Other point of interest, police aren't really doing anything because their hands are tied. Laws are not the actual reporting of law, or the reporting of the crimes is downplayed, robberies or thefts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Were you there? Are you a current police officer?
No, I'm not.
Okay. But you're friends with, were you retired from the force?
30 plus years.
Okay. So what did you think? When the 18-year-old allegedly took his car, used it as a weapon to ram into 5 Chicago police officers, why don't you think they fired at the child or at the teen?
You're second guessing, third guessing, fourth guessing. You're continuously guessing what's going on. And that's putting a lot more people in risk and danger.
Yeah.
All right, so what would you do about these teen takeovers?
It's accountability. It comes down to parenting. Basically, it comes down to main parenting. And then we know that there's broken houses, broken structures out there, and that's what's got to be mended.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate the call.
We got a text message, Jeannie and Amy. Could the protesters, the teenagers, be paintballed with paintball or water cannons? I mean, Mayor Daley used to bring out the water cannons all the time. Every night at Lawrence when people would set up shop underneath Lakeshore Drive, Engine 78 would get the call and they'd have to come out and just spray it all down.
Well, we're going to continue this conversation tomorrow with John
Catanzara. No, John Catanzara. He's the FOP president. He's currently in Springfield, too, fighting for their share. Well, I mean,
they're all down there.
We should be down there, too.
Hands out.
Yes. So thank you so much for making us part of your morning. God bless you and God bless America.
The bar's set with Top Shelf Country Cruise, and 2027 is taking it even